Hello, hi everyone. I hope you all are doing well. So, remember in the last part of the video, we have learned about our heart. We have also learned about the different types of blood vessels, the functioning of our heart, and excretion in animals. Today is going to be the last video series of this chapter, Transportation in Plants and Animals. And today we are going to cover the transportation of substances in plants. Now, you all know that plants are quite special because they can prepare their own food. Now, we have already learned in chapter 1 that in order to prepare food for the plants, they require certain things. They require water, they require carbon dioxide, of course, the chlorophyll pigment in their body, and the sunlight. Now, in this part of the chapter, we are going to learn how this water is being supplied from the root of the plant to the leaf. And once the photosynthesis is done, once the food has been prepared, how this food is going to be supplied to the remaining parts of the tree. So let's get started. So in chapter 1, you have learned that plants take water and mineral nutrients from the soil. Okay, and soil ke contact mein kaun sa plant ka part hota hai? It is the roots. So they take up this water and mineral nutrients from the soil by their roots and then transport it to the leaves. Leaves will use this water and mineral nutrient and it will prepare the food for the plant. Okay, so it is going to use carbon dioxide, it is going to use water and perform photosynthesis. And you have also learned in chapter 6 that food is the source of energy. So plant ko bhi energy chahiye in order to perform various functions, right? So from where the plants are going to get that energy? Of course, from the food that is being prepared by the plant. Okay, and this food is utilized by every cell of the organism in order to get energy. And how that food is being utilized by our body? By the breakdown of glucose. So the cells will use this energy in order to carry out vital activities of life. So plant जो भी food prepare करते हैं वो अपने लिए भी use करते हैं and of course they are the producers. We are also taking the food from the plants directly or indirectly. Therefore, food must be made available to every cells of an organism, okay, so that every cell has energy for doing the required vital activities. Have you ever wondered how water and nutrients observed by the roots are transported to the leaves? Have you ever wondered कि roots से leaves तक पानी कैसे पहुंचता है? How it is being transported? How is the food prepared by the leaves travel to the part which cannot make the food? Leaves, remember, they are the kitchen of the plant. They are going to prepare the food. But from the leaves to all the different parts of the plant, how the food is reaching. So in this topic, we are going to cover all these aspects. Let's talk about transport of water and minerals first. सबसे पहले हम देखते हैं कि root से, this is the root part of the plant. Let's first see how the water and the minerals are reaching from the roots towards the upper part of the plant, that is the leaves. So plants, they will observe the water and minerals by roots. And the roots have root hair. अगर आप कभी भी कोई भी प्लांट को प्लग करोगे सॉइल से यू विल ऑब्जर्व दैट प्लांट्स के जो रूट्स होते हैं जैसे कि ये रूट्स हम बना रहे हैं तो ये रूट्स के पास माइन्यूट हेयर लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स होता है okay, very fine hair like structures, so that are called as root hairs. Okay, these hair like structures are called as root hair. Now, there is a reason why these roots are having root hairs. So the reason is this root hair will increase the surface area of the root for the absorption of water. Okay, root hairs surface area increase कर देते हैं ताकि root ज़्यादा water absorb कर पाए from the soil. Okay, not only water but also mineral and nutrients which is dissolved in the water. So the root hair is in contact with the water that is present between the soil particles. So as a result, root hair is going to absorb more amount of water and mineral nutrients from the soil. So can you guess how water moves from the roots to the leaves? Have you ever wondered how it is going to happen? What kind of transport system is present in the plants? Now, Buju is going to apply his 100% of brain, and let's see what he's saying. Buju thinks that plants may have pipes to transport the water to the entire plant, like we have in a home for the supply of water. हमारे घरों में भी अगर हमें सप्लाई करना है water to the top floor of a house or the building, we are having pipes, right? Pipes will deliver the water to every floors of a building, isn't it? So Buju is thinking, is it that plants also have pipes through which the water will flow from the roots towards the upper parts of the plant? Let's find out. So before we move on, let's look at these two diagrams. So in diagram A, this is representing a section of root. Okay, so these are the different cells of roots, and from the root arises a root hair. Okay, तो ये root hair का काम क्या है? Can you all observe? यहाँ पे blue color use हुआ है. So this is going to observe the water and deliver it to the upper parts of the plant. Okay, similarly, we can see here, this is the root part that is in contact with the soil. Okay, and in the soil, there is water present between the soil particles. Okay, so again, these water is going to be absorbed by the root and it will be transported up. Can you all observe this arrow? Okay, so this blue color represents the water that is moving upwards in the plant's body. Remember, Bhuju has made a guess. He said that there could be a presence of pipe in the plant's body. Well, Bhuju is right. Plants do have some pipe-like vessels in order to transport water and minerals from the soil. And these vessels, they are made up of special cells. And they form the vascular tissue. Okay, now this is something very new to you all. Please make a note of it. ये जो pipe-like structures होते हैं, they are made up of special cells and they make the vascular tissue. Now, what is tissue? Tissue are group of cells that perform a specialized function in an organism. Okay, so बहुत सारे cells मिलके एक tissue create करते हैं, tissue form करते हैं, and this tissue together are going to perform a specified function. So the vascular tissue for the transport of water and minerals are called as xylem. Okay, वो tissue जो water और minerals के transportation में help करेंगे, they are called as xylem. And the xylem forms a continuous network of channels that connects the roots to the leaves through the stem and the branches, thus transports the water to the entire plant. So if we look at the trunk part, there will be millions of such tube-like structures. Okay, they will be connecting the roots to the leaves through the trunk or the stem. Okay, so this is how the xylem works. It forms a continuous network of channels that is connecting the roots to the leaves, either through the stem or through the trunk or the branches. Okay, so now Paheli is having a very interesting question. Paheli says that her mother puts lady's finger and other vegetables in water if they are somewhat dry. It often happens with us also. Agar koi bhi vegetable thoda dry hota hai, we put it inside the water. Now she wants to know how the water enters into them. We know that there are xylem present, but what about the fruits, vegetables? Do they also have xylem? So the answer is no. They do not have xylem, but water enters inside the fruit or vegetable through a process called osmosis. Okay, it is a process of water movement. Okay, that you will be learning in higher grade very soon. So ये process को कहते हैं osmosis. It is a kind of a movement of water from higher water potential to lower water potential. Now let's move on. So we also know that leaves synthesize food. Okay, कौन से process से food बनता है plants में? It is by the process of photosynthesis. अब ये जो food बना है, इसे भी different body parts में भेजना है plants का. So again, that is done by a special type of vascular tissue that is called as phloem. Okay, or xylem and phloem together forms the vascular tissue. Xylem का काम है to transport water and minerals. Phloem का काम है to transport food. Okay, so xylem and phloem, they transport the different substances in plants. Now, let's move on to activity 7.3. So in this activity, you're going to require a glass tumbler, a glass container, water, red ink, a tender herb, okay, chota sa herb, and a blade for this activity. Since we are using the blade, you all have to be careful. So we are going to pour the water and fill 1/3 of the tumbler. Now we will change the color of this water. Okay, so we are going to add few drops of red ink to the water. Now we will cut the base of the stem of the herb and place it in the glass as shown in the diagram. Let's look at the diagram. We have taken a tumbler. We have filled it with water, and in the water we have added red ink. Then we have taken a herb, cut its stem, okay, diagonally. Okay, we have cut the stem diagonally, and we have put this plant, or you can say a herb, inside this glass tumbler. Okay, let's see what happens. So, does any part of the herb appears red? If yes, how do you think the color reached here? So you can cut the stem across and look for the red color inside the stem. When you will cut the stem, you will observe that the stem has turned red. And how this color has reached here? It is through the vascular tissue, that is xylem. It was conducting water. Okay. So from this activity, we see that water moves up the stem. In other words, stem conducts water. Just like red ink, mineral dissolved in water also moves up the stem along with the water. So जब भी water transport होता है from the roots to the upper parts of the plant through the stem, minerals are also observed. They are also dissolved in the water and they moves upwards. So water and minerals go to leaves and other plant parts through the narrow tubes, that is xylem, that is present inside the stem. Now, Buju is having a very interesting question. He is asking that why plants absorb a large quantity of water from the soil and then give it off by transpiration. I hope you all remember what is transpiration. It is the loss of water from the aerial parts of the plant. Aerial part matlab jo bhi plant ka part soil ke upar hai. Okay, so it is the loss of water from the aerial parts of the plant in the form of water vapor. Let me make a note of it. It is the loss of water in the form of water vapor. Okay, so you all must have observed that water बहुत quantity में water absorb करता है, but most of the water content is given off in the form of transpiration. Now, why is it so? It is because when the plants are absorbing water, they are taking in minerals. Okay, and plants require a good quantity of minerals in their body for their growth and maintenance. Okay, so they require minerals for their growth and maintenance. अब ये जो minerals है बहुत ही कम quantity में observe होते हैं water में. So they absorb more water so that they can take up more amount of minerals. Okay, let's proceed now. Learn more about transpiration. So in class 6, you have learned that plant releases a lot of water by the process of transpiration. So plant absorb mineral nutrients and water from the soil, right? Now, not all the water absorbed is utilized by the plant. The water evaporates through the stomata present on the surface of the leaf by the process of transpiration. जितना भी पानी observe किया है plant, वो सारा पानी, सारा water utilize नहीं होता है by the plants. Instead, the huge quantity of water is evaporating out from the plant's body by the opening on the leaves called as stomata. And this process of losing the water is called as transpiration. So the evaporation of water from the leaves generates a suction pull. Okay, like for example, जब भी हम कोई भी cold drink या कोई सा भी drink पीते हैं by using a pipe, what happens at that time? There is a suction force. Okay, we are sucking in the liquid and there is a continuous channel of liquid in our pipe. ओके वैसे ही हमारे प्लांट्स में भी जैसे ही वाटर वेपर रिलीज होता है एटमॉस्फेयर में, देयर इज अ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ कंटिन्यूअस चैनल ऑफ वाटर दैट इज फिलिंग अप this pipe, and it keeps on going up. Okay. So, which can pull the water to great heights in tall trees. And this is very important. Suction pull is very important for delivering the water to the upper parts of the plant and tall trees. So, transpiration, it is having one more function, that it cools the plant. जैसे कि हमारे body में sweat होता है, okay, we are losing the water from our body. Similarly, plants also lose the water from their body. हमारे body को भी sweating से हमारा body cool रहता है. Similarly, transpiration से plant का body भी cool रहता है. It helps in regulating the temperature. It helps in regulating temperature. Okay, so this is how the transpiration work. It is like the loss of water for the plants, but it is very important. Okay, so it is creating a suction pull. That is one of the most important functions, so that water can be absorbed, it can be sucked to great height, and it also cools down the temperature of the plant. It keeps the plant cool. So with this, we have come to the end of this chapter. I hope you all have enjoyed learning this chapter along with me and have understood as well. And in the next video series, we will be solving the question answers. Till then, everyone, do take care. Bye-bye. Stay tuned.